What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the economic calendar thus far and what you should be watching for as time progresses. I'm also going to talk about why tomorrow is going to be a very important day as I give you guys another important warning. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very, very soon. Anyways, now let's break down what's happening to the market. So right here on SPY, we got this very nice pump to this 503.5 area. I was expecting 503 to come, but it went a little bit higher than that. And then we got this little rejection trying to hold this 502 support. So the question is, how will SPY move from here? And what should we be watching for? And the answer is, I'm going to warn everyone to be very careful. And here's the reason why. Tomorrow is going to be Tuesday, February 13th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or an hour before the market opens. We have CPI coming out. Now we're expecting CPI to get a big decrease year over year. Month over month is expected to be similar to what we got previously. And then in terms of core CPI, we want a nice decrease year over year, and the same thing as what we got month over month. So we're expecting some nice decreases year over year. We're expecting nice improvements in the data. This is what the chart for CPI is looking like so far. You guys can see a very, very nice downtrend for core CPI, but for all items CPI, it's a little riskier. We're going to be watching to see what this looks like. So with that being said, okay, wherever SPY closes doesn't really matter as much. We're going to make a big move overnight. Once again, the data comes out an hour before the market opens. So this means that if you don't have the ability to trade before the market opens, because it really depends on your brokerage and your other capabilities and such. But I do want to note that you want to be very, very careful. You never know what could happen overnight if you're like a normal day trader that's trading options, and you want to be very careful. That's what I would warn everyone about. SPY is going to make a big move when we open tomorrow. We're going to gap up or gap down. If we're bullish after CPI, we could easily hit 505 plus or even higher than that. If we're bearish, we're going to be coming back down to the 498 area or so. So I'm open-minded. I'm not 100% sure which way we're going to go when we open. It depends on the CPI. But the last CPIs have been quite decent so far. There was a slight increase in CPI for all items. So I just want to warn you all to be very careful. Be careful. Be open-minded. And if you're going to play this, remember to manage risks. That's all I can really tell you. You can make crazy money on CPI days if you play it right, if you hedge. If you don't want to do that, if you want to sit on the sidelines, it's your choice. Well, the market closes in about 2 hours, so it's your choice, guys. I just wanted to give you guys that very important warning. Now, what about for Tesla? How is Tesla looking? So Tesla basically got this nice little pullback. We were expecting this thing to pull back a little bit. I was calling that out. It came down, grabbed liquidity right here in this supply zone, just under 195. We got this little rejection. Tesla got some negative news because it confirmed no Model Y refresh is coming this year. That's very important, and we saw the share price sink as a result. But look at the levels, guys. Check this out. Notice how we hit this resistance. I marked this as 195. As we lost 192, our next support was right here, 190.5. This is the previous support and then previous resistance from right here. We got a little bounce off of this, and then we lost 190. So what's our next level after that? This 188 zone to 187.5 area. And you could see, this is where Tesla's holding up. So these levels are working. It's based off historical data, based off some key Fibonacci levels. And right now, Tesla's kind of looking very weak because of this bad news. We're going to be watching to see how well we could hold this 188 area if buyers try to defend it. If so, watch 190's resistance. Then we have 184 coming next if we lose 187. So be careful. Now, the thing about Tesla is it's also going to make a big move. You could argue we have a falling wedge that's developing right here. So we're going to be watching to see, does Tesla end up maintaining this falling wedge? Do we end up getting a big bounce and a break out of this? Or does Tesla continue to sink after CPI comes out? In my opinion, the best thing to do is to be open-minded and to be very patient. Excuse me. We'll just have to wait and see. If we're bullish after CPI, Tesla will make its move back up to 192 plus, maybe even up to 195. If we're bearish, we're going to be coming down to about 184. I'll be watching this carefully. Make sure you watch Tesla going into tomorrow. How about for the QQQ? With CPI coming out, we'll just have to wait and see what it causes. We did end up actually coming down to this trend line. We're now kind of shuffling around in the 436 area. CPI is going to cause a big move to 438 plus or even 440. We came just short of that. We actually hit 439. We didn't reach 440 today, but we could get close to 440 tomorrow off CPI, or we could get a rug pull all the way down to lower levels. Who knows what CPI is going to cause? I just want to warn you all to be very, very careful. Right now, it's kind of shuffling, and the 436s may continue to do so. So watch resistance at the yellow trend line, not to mention 438. Make sure you watch support just under 436. We'll see how it goes. So be very, very patient, and we'll see what happens after that. Nvidia is still looking decent, but as you guys can see, Nvidia got this little rejection right over here. So we made this breakout attempt. We hit 745. That's the level we called out if it broke 740. And it went up to 745, rejected, grabbed liquidity, and came down towards 719. If we lose this, hey, we could start sinking to even lower levels. So I just want to call out that Nvidia, not looking the strongest, got this nice little pump and then dump. And now it all comes down to CPI. CPI could launch Nvidia all the way back up to 740 plus, or it could cause Nvidia to get a rug pull back down to 712. The best thing to do is just be open-minded. We do have this imbalance down here, so I'll be watching that as well very carefully. We also have this fair value gap that happened to form right here. So the best thing to do is just be patient and see how it goes. I'll just wait and see off CPI. I mean, honestly, guys, I can't truly predict that. But always be prepared for that, and just know that CPIs have been decent so far, with all items CPI being a little riskier. So I want to give you guys a warning about that. And finally, for Aapl, Apple's still showing some weakness. If you look at the share price, we're currently around 187.8. Now we have this head and shoulders like structure right here. There's a left shoulder here, there's a head, and there's a right shoulder. Apple's looking weak, especially if we close below 188, but there is an external factor, which is going to be CPI, so we'll see how that affects us. But the trend is looking a little weak now. Apple's lost 188, it's losing it, not holding up nicely, and there's a risk of it coming down towards 186.5. Now, once again, even though the setup looks bearish, even though it looks like it could sink more, I'd still be careful because of CPI. You never know what CPI could cause. It could always get in the way. If it launches the market up, we could make our way back up to 189. If it gives us a rug pull, Apple could come down to 186.5. That's going to be another factor affecting this, but just know that the setup is looking weak right now. We have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. In order for us to invalidate this, we have to break above 190. For us to maintain our bearish trend, we have to stay below 188. We're still kind of like seeing a lot of wicks forming. We're seeing some buyers trying to defend it at 187, but it's still looking weaker. You guys can see it's been sinking since it hit 190 last week. So it's looking a little bit weaker. It looks like there's a risk of it coming down. So be careful with Apple, but don't forget, always keep into account CPI. You never know what it could end up causing. All right, guys, that's it for this video. That's your very important warning. There's only about 2 hours of trading left for the day. And when we open tomorrow, CPI is going to be out. So I'll be talking about that. So get ready. Do what you have to do, guys. Prepare. If you want to play anything, if you want to have some fun, that's your choice. If not, it's also up to you. A couple more tickers I just want to call out before I end the video. I forgot to mention this is Sofi. It's showing some life. It's kind of shuffling in this 8.37 area. That's where our 50 EMA happens to be. Same thing with Palantir, still testing 25. Not much is going on with that. Carvana is showing some life right now. We're going to be watching this carefully. It's on a very bullish trend. It could push higher based off technicals, but also be careful because of CPI. And then I also wanted to call out, let me just see if I could find it. I would say Coinbase is looking pretty good right here. Nice breakout. We have nice resistance at 150. We're going to be watching our supports. We have some support at 144.66, not to mention 145. So far it's holding up nicely. Just wanted to call that out. The trend is bullish, but don't forget CPI is going to be another factor. So always account for that and always be prepared just to be safe. All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you for listening. Have a great day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. I'll see you guys very soon for the final video of the day in just a couple of hours. Take care, do what you have to do, and peace out.